All right, everybody, Meteorologist Sam Gabrielli here with the WHAS11 Weather Impact Team. We're going to be talking about a pretty big storm system that's going to be moving through Sunday into Monday. I know this time of the year is pretty popular time of the year, of course, with the holidays wrapping up. A lot of us maybe have been out of work and school for quite some time, past couple of weeks. We are expecting to see things change quite a bit just on the back end of the weekend ahead, the holiday weekend. So it's going to be pretty important. Maybe you have some travel plans in store. I would go ahead and highly suggest you travel Saturday or wait until the storm system's done during the Monday afternoon and Monday evening time frame. We're going to be talking about some impactful weather. First off, let's talk about the snow. There's going to be upwards of 4 inches or more of snow in some places. It all depends on where the storm system tracks. Of course, it can always change the track of the system. Right now, we're getting suggestions it's moving farther north, so that means our friends in Indiana could easily be seeing a couple of inches of snow, if not more. And we also are going to be noticing some additional chances for some ice accumulation as we get into Sunday and Monday. So it's going to be kind of likely an end of the weekend ordeal heading into Monday, where we're going to be watching some very impactful weather. Upwards maybe a ½ inch of ice could be in the forecast. And a ½ inch, you don't really think about it. That's actually a lot of ice. That's going to be putting some big time issues with tree branches falling over. Some power outages could be possible. It is going to be very important you stay tuned to us here with the Weather Impact Team as we guide you through the storm system. And again, the timing of it would be more at Sunday during the day and stretching into Monday as well. So let me pull up some of the latest information so you get some idea on the weather forecast models. And here's the overall picture on current radar. So I know a lot of us overall are, looking ahead to a rather quiet evening ahead. And we actually have 2 storm systems that we're tracking right now. The first one is going to be moving through tonight. Now notice the chance for some light snow, maybe a little bit of some light rainfall activity up towards the just west of Louisville right now, mainly for our far western counties. That's where we are noticing that chance for a little bit of some light rain. But again, the main focus into the remainder of the evening hours, kind of late evening and stretching into the overnight, will be mainly affecting all of our neck of the woods in the form of some snow flurries, maybe a couple of light snow showers as we get into the night ahead of us. So really, this system that's moving through tonight will not be too impactful. We're not going to be too concerned about snow accumulation, really, and the system's going to be passing through very quickly. Let me pull up another one of our radars to get an idea with this incoming system this evening. And, we are really not looking at too much in the way of any kind of rain or light snow. Frankly, all of it's likely going to be falling in the form of some just light rain showers, light snow. And once again, we don't expect any kind of accumulation with the snow. So we're not overly concerned, but there's a quick look off to the west of us, Jasper towards English and just west of Louisville. That's where we do have a couple of areas where there may be some light snow, maybe some light passing rain showers right now, but as temperatures stay pretty cool overnight, we're going to be noticing some of this light little passing flurry activity up by Terre Haute, Bloomington, just southwest of Indianapolis. That activity is going to be shifting into our neck of the woods as we get into the night tonight. So overall tonight, we're not too worried about any kind of major chances for snow. We're just going to be looking at some brief little light dusting. Madison, Newcastle, Frankfort, really not too big of a deal with that chance for the light snow. And again, that focus tonight will be just basically a little passing clipper system that's going to be drifting through overnight and extending into early tomorrow morning. A quick heads up, maybe you're tuning in live right now. Looks like a few of us may be a little late with our streaming services. I just wanted to briefly mention that I'm just talking about the chance for some light snow overnight tonight. Shouldn't be too big of a deal. As you can see on your current screen, there's the snowfall accumulation map, upwards of near a couple of tenths of an inch up towards our far northern spots. Really not too big of a deal as we get into the night tonight, but I just wanted to give you a heads up that the morning rush hour commute could be a little slick in some spots, especially if you're going to be passing on bridges and overpasses. That's where we could be talking about some brief areas where there could be some patchy areas of freezing drizzle, maybe some light snow that could be on bridges and overpasses, making for slick conditions. So this is Futurecast, and I'm going to guide you through the overall track of these systems moving through. So first off, just bear with me too. I'm loading up Facebook, so if you have any questions on Facebook as well, I just want to give a healthy reminder. You can always message them on this live video, and I'll do the best I can to answer them. I'll try my best. Of course, we're going to be bringing you around-the-clock coverage of this chance for some snow and ice in the coming days, but this is how it's looking for now. So the overall storm system that we're looking at tonight really is going to pass through very quickly. Notice by about 11 o'clock, going to be tuning into the night team, we may see a brief shower moving through the North Vernon, Seymour area, Bedford, Scottsburg, and temperatures overnight again falling to right around freezing in Louisville, if not just below that. Notice a couple of light showers around 3 to about 5 a.m. And this system will pass by very quickly, so that's some good news. Again, for that morning rush hour commute, maybe you're going to be traveling off towards Frankfort and Newcastle. We could see a couple more showers hang on there for that 5, 6, 7 a.m. drive tomorrow morning. But overall, we're actually going to be seeing a pretty nice afternoon tomorrow. Notice on Futurecast by about noon, most spots making the way to the low 30s. And eventually, I do think tomorrow we're going to be inching our way to a high temperature of right around about 35 degrees. Now, things get interesting again into the day Saturday. Friday night into Saturday morning is going to be pretty cold. We're actually going to be falling into the low to mid 20s. Wind chills into Saturday morning easily into the teens. So again, we are going to be dealing with kind of a west to northwest breeze, and the wind chill could easily be dipping down well into the teens and upper single digits. Closer to about Saturday afternoon, really not warming too much. In fact, Saturday by about 4 o'clock again, staying sunny. And we're going to be seeing readings make their way into the 30s. We're calling both tomorrow and Saturday the calm before the storm because things are going to be changing a lot more. Notice the clouds kind of sharply increasing after the sunset hour on Saturday night, and temperatures overnight through the midnight hour on Sunday likely hovering just below 30 degrees. Off to the west, as soon as about 4 or 5 a.m., we're going to be noticing the first bands of snow from this incoming winter storm system. So we're not too overly concerned yet, really, at 5, 6 in the morning on Sunday for that chance for the snowfall. But notice as we get into the remainder of the morning hours, closer to about 6, 7 a.m., some of that snow will be a little heavier and impact spots mainly west of I-65. I've been noticing the last couple of computer model forecast runs that updates every 6 hours. We've been noticing kind of a trend where the storm system is speeding up. So that's good news, as in, maybe less of the day Sunday will be impacted with the heaviest amounts of snow. But unfortunately, this means that it's going to be impacting most of the weekend. So if it ramps up in its speed, the overall storm system, that means that we are going to be seeing it move through our area quicker than expected. So less impact, but keep in mind, it's going to be likely rolling through earlier in the day on Sunday. So if you are going to be traveling this weekend, I would go ahead and suggest you do travel on Saturday if you need to be making it back to town. Notice as well down to the south, that area of pink, that's actually where we're going to be seeing some sleet, freezing rain mix in. Unfortunately, a layer in the atmosphere just above the surface will be warm enough for some of that snow to melt. And then as it melts and gets closer to the surface, it'll refreeze, and then it'll be in the form of ice. So that is something we don't want to see. Notice as well on this model run, this is the latest update that came in recently. We are going to be noticing some of the snow get pretty heavy, closer to about 9, 10 a.m. Those darker bands of blue. Louisville, you're still in that area of snow. So as early as about 7, 8 a.m., we're going to be seeing a couple of light snowflakes. And then this latest model run, of course, the forecast can always change. As these models are updating every 6 hours, things can change. But for now, it's looking likely in Louisville, we're still going to be seeing snow up until about noon on Saturday. On Sunday, excuse me. Saturday will be dry. Sunday, temperature still in the mid to upper 20s, so it's going to be getting pretty cold as these snowflakes move through. And again, visibility will be greatly reduced. You see some of these areas in that darker blue, that's where we could be noticing some possible whiteout conditions, as some of the snow will be very heavy. Now, we're not going to be looking at a blizzard. The wind will be kind of light, so we're not too concerned about strong wind blowing snow. It's just going to be more in the form of heavy snow throughout the day. And interestingly enough, as we get closer to peak daytime heating between about 1 to about 4 p.m., notice that freezing rain line getting very close to Louisville. That's where we could be seeing the initial band of snow from the morning hours and midday on Sunday transition over to freezing rain closer to about 3, 4, 5 o'clock on Sunday afternoon. And then, yeah, as we approach 4 or 5 p.m., unfortunately, notice along and south of I-64, we're easily going to be noticing freezing rain. And south of, or north of I-64, that's where that rain and snow line is going to be forming. And then you look off to the southwest, Hardinsburg, Tell City, as soon as about 4 or 5 p.m. on Sunday, there will be some good old rain mixing into the forecast for western Kentucky. So areas where you see that orange, yellow, that's where we're mainly going to be concerned about just rainfall. So if you're tuning in from Tell City, Owensboro, that's where you're going to be kind of out of the woods from any kind of rain or from freezing rain and snow. But keep in mind, this forecast could still change. The storm system is still off the west coast of the Pacific Ocean, the northern Pacific coastline here with the U.S. And so as it does make landfall tomorrow, more so into that Washington and Oregon area, we're going to get more weather data with this storm, and we'll have a better idea on how the models are handling this storm system. Now notice as well, there's still going to be some good old rain. So in Louisville, we'll likely start off the day with snow Sunday morning, then see some ice, and then transition over to some cold rain as we get closer to about 7 or 8 p.m. into the evening on Sunday. So that actually appears to be where this model is right now. This model goes out about 84 hours. So right now, it pauses at about 7 or 8 p.m. on Sunday. I'm going to pull out a longer range forecast model so you get an idea of just how this looks actually for our area as we look into the end of Sunday and heading into Monday. Let's see here. Hey, Doug, do you want us to be quiet momentarily? Are you doing some updates? Oh, sure, sure. We can stay on this live video. We'll resume this in a sec. Doug, Prophet's about to do some recordings for the night team here pretty soon here. Hold on one sec. All right, everybody, we're back. Sorry about that. We had to do some recordings here for the night team. But so resuming things a little bit closer. So I just showed you kind of a closer look for our area with this winter storm moving through Sunday into Monday. Maybe you're just tuning into this video. I just want to reiterate, tonight, this activity, we're not too concerned about it. Maybe you pulled up the WHAS11 news app on your phone, checked radar real quick. This light activity tonight and stretching into early tomorrow morning, not a big deal. We only expect maybe a dusting at best of this light snow potential heading into early on your Friday morning. And again, Friday afternoon, full of sunshine. It's going to be pretty cold. So grab that winter coat out the door both Friday and Saturday. And Sunday into Monday, of course, that's that big story we're talking about. Take a look to the west. Right around 6, 7 in the morning, we're expecting to see on Sunday the band of snow and freezing rain move through. And again, some of this snow will be very impactful with heavy bouts of it moving throughout much of the morning hours on Sunday. And that freezing rain and snow line is going to be forming just south of our area as we get closer to about 10, 11 a.m. And once again in Louisville, likely starting off with some snow, Then around midday, we're going to be noticing that freezing rain line inching into Jefferson County. So likely for now, the forecast can change, but for now we're looking at some heavy snow in the morning hours on Sunday, then some brief freezing rain moving through about midday, and possibly as temperatures warm up a little bit more, we are going to be noticing some bands of heavier rainfall move through late on Sunday. This is that storm system a little bit closer. I actually wanted to show you the big picture of what we're talking about. So we're not the only ones being affected from this winter storm system. We're actually going to be noticing all the snow anywhere from Kansas City to Wichita, St. Louis included, Indianapolis. So maybe you have some travel plans to the north or to the west of us. That's where the snowfall will be heaviest. If you're going to be traveling south of us, Nashville, Memphis, Atlanta, they're all going to be seeing some good old rain. Notice until about Sunday night, this is where I do think the conditions will be the worst. And keep in mind, it will get dark pretty quickly, of course, sunset just after 5:30. And when it's nighttime and that freezing rain, snow's coming down, it's going to be a very dire situation. Make sure you're staying inside. Do not travel in these conditions. Also, which is interesting, you see off to the west where some of those white lines are closer and closer together. That shows you where constant lines of pressure are getting close, and that brings in some very strong wind. So on the back edge of this system, we're actually expecting to see some strong wind form out of the north, and some of that wind, of course, is going to be making for some blowing snow, especially during much of the day on Monday. So again, don't get your guard down. This snow is going to be sticking around basically all overnight Sunday night, stretching into much of the first half of Monday, and we may see a couple more snow showers stick around even until about noon and stretching into about early to mid-afternoon Monday, and then we can take a nice deep breath because we are going to be noticing the snow finally ending by Monday afternoon, probably closer to about 4 or 5 p.m. And with that said, though, it is going to get very cold. I'm going to be talking more about the cold here in just a moment. The cold needs to be taken very seriously because if some of us do lose power, this cold air is going to be situated right over our area all of next week. So we're going to be noticing low temperatures in the single digits in teens, high temperatures only in the 20s and lower 30s at best. So please make sure you have plenty of appliances charged up. You'll have candles, plenty of candles, some flashlights. Also make sure that you do have some severe weather safety kits at home too. Plenty of blankets, some non-perishable food items, just in case your area decides to lose power. Now, the moment we've all been waiting for. This is a look at that snowfall forecast map. Sunday into Monday, we're going to be looking likely at some chances for snow to the north and ice to the south. The latest trend of what we are noticing right now is that this line of snow and ice is being pushed down a little farther south. This latest update from the models, I do think, is as of the past couple of hours, does drag in that snow and freezing rain line a little farther to the south. So I do think more towards Louisville, Frankfort, English, Jasper, where you are normally going to see more ice than snow. I do think now you're going to be seeing more snow than ice. Again, this forecast can change, but that's how it's looking for now. Areas in the pink, that's where there could easily be about 1/4 to 1/2 inch of ice. And once again, that's going to be enough ice to be making for travel to be near impossible, extremely dangerous, in fact. It doesn't take much in the way of ice for roads to be completely caked over with ice potential. And also know in about 24 hours from now, we're going to be having a lot more confidence in how much snow is going to be falling. Of course, these models are always changing every couple of hours, every 6 hours, and I know eventually we need to be providing a forecast, but just know that as the storm evolves and the models are getting better and better about their accuracy of how much snow is in the forecast, then we're going to have more confidence actually telling you numbers of snow that could be falling. So by this time tomorrow evening, I do think that we will have a snowfall forecast map for you, and we're going to be providing further updates as well. A couple of questions here that I want to tend to. Looks like we have one. Will we have more snow accumulation or ice in Hardin County? In Hardin County, in E-Town, the area, I do think you're going to be seeing more ice than snow, unfortunately, with this storm system. Again, if that track changes and this storm system brings it down farther south than it is now, we may see more the Hardin County area on the cold side of this low pressure center, which means that all the precipitation would be falling in the form of snow, But again, that can always change. Beverly, good evening from Borden. Good evening to you as well. The Borden area likely seeing more snow than ice, I do think. When will it hit Louisville? That question just coming in about a minute ago. I think in Louisville, let me pull up Futurecast again. I know the big talks on these live videos, and frankly with our newscasts as well, or the weathercasts, is everybody always wants to know who's going to get the heaviest snow and when is it going to start. Very important, right? So this is the timing, again, Sunday. As we wake up, 6, 7 a.m., maybe you're going to be tuning in to Good Morning Kentuckiana. We are going to be seeing most of our snow stay just to the west. West of our areas, Jasper, Tell City, Hardinsburg, maybe a couple of brief areas of sleet and light snow. Then closer to about 7, 8 a.m., that snow moving into Metro Louisville. So probably closer to about 7 or 8 a.m., the first couple of snowflakes are going to be pushing through on Sunday. And again, a lot of that snow will be lingering into much of the morning Sunday and impacting a lot of our area, even as late as about noon. Notice getting close to about noon on the button, all of us in the 20s to the north. Notice E-Town at 26 with freezing rain going on. When freezing rain happens, that's when your surface temperature is at freezing, but precipitation is falling in the form of rain. So keep in mind, a lot of this area you see in pink, that's where rainfall is going to be happening, but the ground temperature will be cold enough for it to be falling in the form of freezing rain, of course. And then closer to about 3, 4, 5 o'clock on Sunday, p.m. at least, that's where we're going to be seeing more of that freezing rain line move into Louisville. So likely some pretty big impacts, and once again, do not travel at all costs. If it's an emergency, you know, of course, that's always an emergency, but take your time with travel and really just be safe on the roads. Make sure you stock your car up with plenty of blankets just in case you get stranded. Also keep in mind, traveling in this kind of weather puts first responders at risk. So not only are you putting yourself at risk, but you're putting others at risk that are going to be out there to try and help you in case you do end up in the ditch or you know, God forbid, you end up on the side of the road. So please make sure you dress in plenty of layers if you need to be out, and make sure you do winterize your vehicle. A couple more comments here. Brenda asking if Indianapolis is going to get hit too. Yes, they are. Indianapolis most likely seeing all snow from this storm system. Cincinnati too, I know another big city in our area. I've seen some of the model forecasts try and bring in a foot of snow for Cincinnati. So travel is going to be greatly reduced wherever you reside. And of course in our area we're looking at more ice and snow as opposed to all snow. So sometimes when you put ice into the equation, that's where things get a little more serious. And one thing we've been chatting about tonight on the 6 o'clock news was the 2009 ice storm we had in late January. The National Weather Service, as well as myself, we don't think that this storm will be as detrimental as it was back in 2009, but it likely will get pretty serious. Here's an idea, too, of how much ice we're talking about with this storm. So notice some of the darker pink to the southwest. That's where there could be some areas where there could be up to about a ½ inch of ice. In Louisville, we could see 0.2 of an inch. Bardstown, 0.2. E-Town, 2,900. So it doesn't take much ice for, you know, branches to be falling over off trees, your car to be totally iced over, your whole yard to be completely covered in ice, driveways, roads, interstates, completely covered in ice. I do think the overall worst of that ice will be along and south of the parkways. This is that snowfall forecast area that we're looking at. So again, that main area of concern that I'm really worried about is mainly south of that white line. E-Town, Bardstown, Litchfield, that's where I do think that ice is going to be a huge factor with this incoming storm system. In Louisville, we'll likely see a little ice, but then you put some of that snow on top of it, and that makes for some very slick conditions. So because of this as well, I just want to reiterate, we are issuing, of course, that weather impact alert for Sunday into Monday. It's going to be all day long, and again, this weather impact alert day is mainly for the snow and ice potential, and of course, you're going to need the shovel with you. Make sure you have an ice scraper also in your car in the event you need to be traveling, but again, I highly suggest not even being on the roads in this incoming system. Let's see, Bardstown. Sherry asked about Bardstown. I do think Bardstown is going to be seeing more snow than or more ice than snow, excuse me. And then we had questions about JCPS also being in school. I have a good chance, or I have a good feeling that JCPS will likely, cancel school for the day. It's going to be very impactful with this storm system moving through. I want to show you as well where the storm system is currently. Well, first off as well, I forgot to mention this. Here's a winter storm watch. This winter storm watch actually begins Saturday night and goes through the afternoon hours on Monday. So what the winter storm watch generally means is that we're still analyzing this storm, but it's guaranteed within the light blue shaded areas in counties. This is where there likely will be a combination of some ice and snow, a couple of inches at least of snow, and up to about 1/4 of an inch of ice. So again, that's going to be making for some very slick conditions on the roads. And again, we're not the only ones with this impactful weather. Winter weather advisories for the areas in that purple shaded region. That includes West Virginia, southwestern Ohio. And again, the winter storm watch encompasses St. Louis, Kansas City, just south of Omaha, Indianapolis. One of the viewers just asked about that earlier. So again, we're not the only ones dealing with this extreme weather. It's going to be impactful for a lot of the middle portion of the country. Another question, Dina asking about LaGrange. Let me pull up Futurecast again for LaGrange. LaGrange again, kind of more dealing with snow than ice, I suppose. Notice again, the snow likely beginning in LaGrange, probably closer to about 7:30, 8 a.m. on Sunday. And that snow, again, will stick around all day long for the Newcastle area, Buckner, LaGrange, Pendleton, Shelby County also seeing some pretty heavy snow throughout the day as well. And just basically all day long, we're going to be seeing some steady snow. LaGrange, again, maybe some freezing rain mixing into the area about 3 or 4 p.m. on Sunday. But again, if you have nowhere to be, I would just go ahead and suggest staying inside, ride this out. Let's see. Portions of Indiana seeing all snow. Tammy asking about Nab, Indiana. And again, Indiana seeing basically all snow out of this. I'm going to be live for another 5 more minutes. So if you have additional questions, feel free to ask them. But again, we have a newscast coming up at 11 o'clock. So I'm going to have to hop off this video in a little bit. But just to reiterate, maybe you're just tuning in. Here's what we're talking about again. This evening, temperatures really not too bad. A lot of us in the 30s, and wind chill dipping down into the low 30s. We may see a couple of areas where the wind chill tonight could easily be into the 20s, but not bad in Louisville right now at 41 degrees, 35 Scottsburg, 33 in E-Town. So tonight, we're not too concerned about heavy snow by any chance, or no kind of chances for heavy rainfall. We're mainly just going to be talking about a couple of light snow flurries drifting through and some areas of brief heavy rainfall. So if you have noticed, clouds have been kind of rolling through mainly throughout the course of the evening and stretching into the night tonight. We're mainly just going to be talking about the bands of light snow moving through. Really shouldn't be too bothersome. Notice you can kind of see where the atmosphere freezes to the north of us. We're noticing rain in southeastern Illinois, all snow in Indiana. And again, as we get into the remainder of the night tonight, notice by about 2, 3 in the morning, some light snowflakes mixing in with some light rain showers. And then closer to about 4, 5, 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, again, that snow's going to be passing through. And as the temperatures in the atmosphere cool off enough, close to the freezing mark just before sunrise tomorrow, that's where we're expecting to see all this fall in the form of some light snow showers. So not a big deal, and it's going to be passing very quickly. But of course, the big story is that winter storm system as we take you into Sunday, into Monday, as we're going to be noticing just rounds of ice and rounds of snow moving through. And again, if you don't have anywhere to be this weekend, I would just hunker down. Don't even take risks in this snow and ice moving through Sunday into Monday. Let's see. Haley asking about if there's is there another chance for ice or snow next week too? No, the problem is next week it's going to get very cold, and I'll be showing just how cold it's going to be getting in just a moment. James asking about Mount Washington, Bullitt County will be more ice or snow. I think it'll be more snow in the Mount Washington, Bullitt County area, but you're going to be right on that border where there will be more ice and snow just here south. So let's see. First off, let's talk about the 7-day, because I know I've been talking about how cold it will be. So tomorrow, 35, sunny, 32 on Sunday and staying pretty sunny. Notice the low temperatures tomorrow night and Saturday night falling well into the 20s. So back into the 20s. This is that cold air, though, I was talking about. Right as we get into about Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, that's where the cold air is really going to be impacting our area. And speaking of impact, because of all that cold air, we're declaring the weather impact alert for Sunday into Monday, as you're going to be definitely needing that winter coat. Wind chills next week, after it snows all that much, will be easily falling below 0 degrees. I would not be surprised. So it's going to get really cold into the course of next week, especially as this snow and ice wraps up. Daniel asking if there's 2 waves. It all depends on what you define as a wave, I would say. So once again, it'll start off with some light snow Sunday morning. Let's fast forward one more time into the event. So close to about 5, 6, 7 a.m. on Sunday. Notice snow, some freezing rain off to the west. And then this first wave again, likely impacting much of our area. Notice most spots as we dip down well into the middle 20s on Sunday morning. Basically all seeing snow out of this. Besides Litchfield, Mumfordville, down towards the Columbia area, that's where there will be some freezing rain in the forecast. But closer to about noon, that's where we're going to be slowly seeing the snow being overridden by some freezing rain. And then likely stretching into early to mid-afternoon on Sunday, that's where that pocket of freezing rain will likely be impacting our neck of the woods. So we're going to be noticing more in Louisville, Corydon, Jasper, Paoli, Bardstown, all seeing the freezing rain. And then eventually closer to about 6, 7 p.m., even near 8 p.m., even just some steady rain trying to knock on the Louisville doorstep. So notice as that warmer kind of nose of warmer air moves in, that's where some of that snow could easily be turning more into some freezing rain, and a couple of spots noticing some good old steady rain coming down. And then let me just pull up what we're talking about with that snowfall and ice map real quick, and then I'll have you guys just wait around until the night team starts off at 11 o'clock. But that's what we're noticing right now. So I'm going to leave this map up for another minute or two. We're looking at mainly snow north of that white line and more of an ice event south of that white line. So notice as well some of the areas dealing with the ice. We are going to be watching the potential for some brief areas of maybe an inch or 2 of snow to mix in with some of that ice. So again, if you have that little layer of some light snow on top, that'll be making for some slick conditions, and it will be easy to slip around in this activity. So make sure you do stick with us for the latest updates on this winter storm, as we are going to be noticing some big-time impacts with snow and ice moving through. If you have one last question, go ahead and fire away. I'll try and answer them. But again, we're just mainly concerned about the overall potential for some snow and ice, as we are going to be watching this low pressure drift in from the Pacific Ocean. And again, the low pressure and the storm system Sunday to Monday are miles to our north and west. But it's going to be all right. We'll ride this out. And again, it will be making for kind of a festive start to our 2025 with the snow. But just please, everybody, stay safe. Stay with us for the latest updates on this winter storm. Again, there will be a high likelihood at least somebody in our viewing area will be seeing at least 4 to about 6 inches of snow. And we're also going to be seeing some spots maybe up to about a ½ an inch of ice accumulation. So go ahead right now. Just expect the best. Plan for the worst, just in case. Make sure you have plenty of blankets stocked at home, non-perishable food, candles, flashlight, just in case your area loses power with this storm system. But again, we're looking at the timing being basically all day Sunday, stretching into Monday, and some of these snow showers, again, lingering into Monday afternoon, and then the cold air moves through. So we're going to be working around the clock, of course, with the WHAS11 Weather Impact Team and keeping you in the know with this storm as it drifts in. But for now, I'm going to sign off. Of course, you can tune into the night team. We're on in 30 minutes at WHAS11. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Have a great night, and stay safe with this incoming snowstorm.